In 1972, a Brazilian instrumentalist and songwriter released his only album, and it turned out to be one of the most loved releases of the MPB movement of the 1970s. Of course, he would release another album 30 years later, but that's a whole different subject. Anyway, the man is Arthur Verocai, and from that album, the instrumental track Karina. I'm curious as to what is creating this sound. There's like a saxophone, but it seems like there's some effects laid on it, and am I hearing like a keyboard mixed in with it? It's a strange kind of blurry sound going on there. Maybe phased or flanged or something. I should say that the saxophone on this album is played by, on this track, tenor saxophone is played by Nivaldo Ornelas. Yeah, released an album in 1978, one of those MPBC Musica Popular. I know that series, the artwork. There's a series by the Philips label promoting this music. That guitar is played by Hélio Delmiro, who, very limited number of credits here. This seems to be the earliest credit of his listed on Discogs, and then a few albums by Ellis, Ellis Regina, popular MPB singer, and an album by Clara Nunes, an album by Djavan, a later album by him. Some great expressionism right here on that sax. The trombone that doubles up with Nivaldo on the thematic parts is played by Edson Maciel, who has 59 credits on Discogs going back to 1964 with Quarteto MC, on to albums by Os Gatos, Some Nove. He was on an Egberto Gismonti album. He was on, Academia di Dancas. I like the way these two play. The way they just stretch, squeeze, and filter out notes. I'm curious as to who the drumming and the drummer and percussionists who they are, but they're not listed in the credits. They're sure playing up a storm here. Well, in an anonymous paragraph, simply as listed under credits as musicians, we got Pascoal Mireles as a drummer credited on this album, and we've got Robertinho Silva, a drummer and percussionist credit. Maybe that's who, because there's a lot going on there. It could be both of them. Yeah. Well, good mixture there of like post-bop and MPB. The that catchy, sax riff that reoccurs and gives the song its earworm, and also the more free-form instrumental parts in the middle. The trombonist and the saxist getting their turn to just squonk and squeeze out notes, and percussion, just laying down, like sprinkling throughout with some real precision, like drumming, and that intro that had those strange sounds, those like effects laden sax notes. The guy who I'm gonna guess played drum and percussion on here, Robertinho Silva. Let's see, he's got 215 credits on Discogs, and he has 8 albums listed of his own, starting with the 1981 self-titled release, also part of that Phillips series that I was mentioning. With those covers, the MPBC, Musica Popular Brazil Contemporânea series that the label put out, I guess, to promote this music internationally. Let's see. A few more interesting. A 1981 release titled Bacteria. That's one that's a really great cover to it. Anyway, it's kind of hard translating all the info about these artists, but Arthur Verocai, writer, arranger, conductor, he's listed on here, and a guitarist, although a different guitarist is credited on this particular track, which is kind of an outlier musically from the rest of the album. Most of the album is sort of dreamy, folk, with a bit of samba, that Brazilian folk style of the early 70s. That self-titled album from 1972 would remain his only solo release for 30 years until the 2000s, when he put out a couple of albums, and that 1972 album enjoyed a major resurgence. 32 appearances listed on Discogs, mostly various artists. Credits, 168 credits. Let's see, what else did he do if he didn't do much under his own name back in the day? Let's see, going back to 1970, he was on an album by Ivan Lins. He was on, it seems like even his 70s era credits are kind of skimpy here. Skipping over to the, oh god, I see, the years are kind of messed up here. He was on an album by Maria Cruza Poetico. He was on he was on several albums by Ivan Lins. He's credited on one track on an album by Azimuth. What did he do with his time? Let's see. Let's take a look at his wiki here. Oh, it's all in Portuguese. I really can't account for much of his whereabouts. Such a talented guy, but seen sadly all too little during his prime, during the 1970s and early 80s. Just a few guest appearances, one great album that has since become one of a handful of just must-have albums from 1970s Brazil. Anyway, there you have it. Arthur Verocai, the track Karina, Domingo no Grajau. I'm not gonna murder the pronunciation of it. From 1972. And for more rubies and sapphires from this and many other Brazilian albums, see the directory of albums from Brazil in the links. Like and subscribe, and until next time, this is Zaragon, the world's most ear-traveled trimaximalist.